We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
What if you could have a spa-level sweat session at home for about 25 cents a day? That's why I love my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. You can check them out in person at the State Fair Park Expo Center's Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. It's the perfect chance to step inside, compare models, and even ask questions. Good Health Saunas has been doing this for more than 20 years, and they back it all with a true lifetime warranty, which was huge for me. If an infrared sauna has been on your list, find Good Health Saunas at State Fair Park, March 20th through the 29th.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch.
It's Wilde Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Tuesday edition. Man, I didn't realize travel was going to be so difficult in the United States because of a partial government shutdown and the weather edition. Are we still talking about the Packers' backup quarterback? Is that still a big topic? People have moved on from naming Lambeau Field in honor of some sort of corporation with the naming rights edition. And the Where in the World is Mark Tauscher Today edition of Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson, much like Hunter Vaughn before him yesterday, risking life and limb. Maybe not quite as risky today. To get to the ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studios. And from an undisclosed location, which he will disclose at some point, it is the Packers Hall of Famer. It is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right, Jason. A little trip down to Milwaukee today. I'm going to the Betty Brinn Museum. I'm a little bit, I got a lot of traffic. The roads plowed beautifully, but a lot of traffic. And so I'm really am in an undisclosed location. I feel like Woodward and Bernstein down in a parking ramp trying to get some info from Mark Felt, if that makes any sense. That's what I feel like right now.
It does make sense. All the president's men. So what are you doing at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum, which is, by the way, a gem of one of the many great things about Milwaukee. And if you've never been there, you are missing out. So make sure you give that consideration for your next trip to Milwaukee, or if you're in Milwaukee with kids, either way. But what are you doing there?
So I am with our friends at Sendix. We're going to get a little painting in. I'm going to do some painting post-show. I don't know.
Peyton
Freshen it up a
Manning.
little bit. Yeah, I'm going to be painting something. So I'm going to be honest. I don't know a ton more details, but I have never been to the Betty Brinn Museum. I'm curious. I'm sure during breaks I'll go scout around a little bit and understand a little bit more about what this is all about. But our friends at Sendix celebrating their big anniversary, doing a lot of different things around the city of Milwaukee and in the all the surrounding areas. And this is another one of their projects, and they've invited me to come down and help out.
Well, Sendix is a great partner. They also have the freshest pre-cut fruits. From all my time being in Milwaukee for the Milwaukee Ballet and whatever else, always stop at Sendix to get my fruits.
Great cheese curds, fresh
I've
fish.
heard that.
They got all of it. Yep.
Yeah, they got the great bakery, the great meat department. The
I hear a
whole
lot
thing.
about the meats. Yeah.
Big on the fruit though. Love the fruit. So what is your painting? We know you have a varied resume from your fascinating life, from driving a 3-on-a-tree stick shift to move a bathtub to concrete to a number of other manual labor jobs to playing in the National Football League.
Hay. Yep.
Yeah, farming.
Things, yep.
I was building up to the dairy farming. What is your background in painting, both in terms of walls and in terms of masterpieces?
Yeah, no, I've painted. I have not been nothing ever artistic. It's always been just commercial, or I always like the roller. Like if I'm gonna paint, the brush is fine. Mr. Miyagi style. That's not really where I want to be.
Sure.
I like rolling it out into the pan and then like that smooth glide that you feel. I don't know if that is what I'll be asked to do today. I'm sure.
Doubtful.
I'm very doubtful that it's going to be anything intricate, because I'm a little bit of a bull in a china shop, and I think they know that. So give me the roller. Let me just go plow ahead, and I think everybody will be happy.
Well, we're glad you're down there safe and sound, and you will be moving from the parking garage to the museum itself at some juncture.
Are you painting the walls, or are you painting art?
There's no way he's painting walls.
You can't use a roller on.
What do you mean I don't do it? I mean, you guys, first off, neither of you have ever done. I mean, you guys don't know manual labor. Like, I'm not going to try and be all like mean and rude, but y'all are coming at me a little bit. No, it's not. I mean, you guys have probably, it's cute. You go water paint with your kid, Jason, you go all that. I've painted, I've lived, I've drywalled, I've done this. So to besmirch me, you can besmirch me all you want. I'm guessing I've probably done a heck of a lot more painting than you all have ever thought. I've tarred. Like, I've done all of it, man.
So you actually are painting a wall? I thought you were doing a portrait.
Jesse, I just told you I don't know. I'm not painting I don't know. Maybe I am painting a portrait. If it is, that ain't my specialty. I would much prefer painting a wall. I'm guessing because they're freshening things up, I'm guessing that's what I'm doing. But once I get in and probably by the 10 o'clock hour after I get settled, I'll be able to give you guys more of an update. But as we sit here right now, no, I don't think I'm like trying to be Rembrandt, or I'm going to rip off an earlobe and be Van Gogh. I think I'm going to be Johnny Paint Guy, grab some Hallman Lindsay paint, slap her up on that wall, and make it beautiful. That's what I'm guessing.
Well,
by the way, I saw this really awesome
further updates.
Where you know how you got to put that blue tape down to kind of control the lines, and you can paint over and you keep it nice and crisp. There's
Painter's tape.
There's a fun little hack that you do if you use the package, the stuff that you tape up the boxes when you move. You put that painter's tape on there, and you can roll it out like it's a bike tire, and you don't have to bend down and it just smoothly rolls out. It's a fun little hack, because I was doing a little research on, helping out paint wise. I saw that hack, and it is a great hack.
Thanks for the tip. Jesse, we're happy to have you back.
It is a fun. I don't understand.
It's a very
what
fun.
was that about?
I didn't expect you to have paint like. You tell us every week about the pro painters at Hallman Lindsay and how they're the experts, and I didn't expect you to have in your toolbox.
Hey, I don't have Johnny Hallman or Freddie Lindsay with me today, so old boy is going to be. I don't.
Did you bring your own tape?
I thought about. Actually, I have hockey tape in the car. I might bring that.
Does that
replace the painter's tape?
The same way the painter's tape does? Does it go when you pull it out?
It's a hockey hack and a painter's hack.
I'll find out. I don't know. But I just love how you guys ask me a question. I give you a detailed, great hack answer, and then it's like, I'm a big idiot. Like, what are we doing?
No one said
no.
You're
Where's
not.
Hunter? Can we get Hunter back? I never thought I'd say this, but can we get Hunter back?
Hunter did a fantastic job yesterday, with the possible exception of Hunter stepping into the breach.
And it was a great job. Yeah, Hunter drove probably 10 miles more than Jesse would have had to driven. So that was. I found that interesting.
Looking at the map, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, that was a tough one yesterday. I'm glad Hunter was.
Do you feel like I'm not going to go down that road. Continue on ripping me about my painting, even though neither of you picked up a paintbrush in 6 years.
Well,
continue.
From what I saw from the snowfalls on the news last night, there was not quite double, but there was significantly more snow measured on the east side of Madison, where I live, versus the west side of Madison, where Hunter lives. He also, as was pointed out yesterday, had pretty easy access to a main road, as opposed to me, who, by the way, I was in my car leaving the driveway at 6:30. I got up at 5 a.m., plowed my side of the driveway with our little rinky-dink snow plow, which if I had any kind of behemoth snow blower in the garage like Jason does.
Don't go down this road. Jason is very fragile.
Unreal.
We're not going down the snowblower road again.
So if I
26 inches of snow.
The things I would have given yesterday for that snowblower instead of our little rinky-dink electric one that you need to do 2 laps on top, shoving it around.
Good news. I think that's going to be your Christmas present from Jason this year. So that's good. That's good.
It doesn't sound to me like it would have mattered had you had that snowblower or not.
It wouldn't.
Because the driveway was not the end of your journey.
So I made it very cleanly out of the driveway into the road, and then I got stuck.
How far did you get down your own street?
Not 10 feet. I pulled reverse into the road, put it in drive, went forward about 3 feet, and then we were stuck. And
did you start backsliding? You've got that dead end down the street a little bit. Did you back into that?
No, it was just kind of stuck. So I had to maneuver it just to even be able to back up to get back into the driveway. But there was no chance I was going anywhere forward.
Jason, what are the chances Jesse never even got out of bed yesterday?
I don't think he would lie to us. I am of the belief
that. But it's not at 0. Can we agree it's not at 0%?
I think he's probably exaggerating the time he got up and how committed he was to coming in.
Like he was up getting out of the house at
5 a.m. to leave at 6:30.
I was up at 5 a.m. I was ready to go at 6:30 yesterday.
No, you weren't.
All of this is
that
true.
Stuff's all
of this is true.
Let me check the timeline of the texts to see when you texted us.
Go for it.
Inform us that you were not coming in.
I know I'm right, so go for it. For all the times that I have gotten in here during emergency type situations, and
I didn't know there were that many times.
For all the tornadoes that I was part of coverage with at Daily Dodge up in Beaver Dam back in the day, you know what? I deserved one yesterday.
How long has it been since you worked at the Daily Dodge?
It's 10 years, 8 years, somewhere almost a decade. But you know what? For all the times where I've been part of the emergency staff on hand here, making sure we're running smoothly, yesterday, car gets stuck, and I said, you know what? I deserve one in the kitchen today. And so I pulled back in after 5 minutes, and I was able to get the car in. And I said, this is not going to end well. And I was hoping a plow would come through. Where I live, we're on, like Jason said, this dead end, and a lot of times the plows skip us and the house to our left, which is the last one on the street. They just skip us and then come back around later. We're like the last bit of the snow that gets cleared. So what happened yesterday, the plow came through around 10:30, but it just built like this giant 4-foot wall a little bit beyond our driveway. and then they didn't come back till 1 o'clock and actually did the rest of it. So it's a good thing we weren't in an emergency type situation where we had to go anywhere yesterday, like the pregnancy you were talking about, because
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I dialed in all 3 hours yesterday. I got takes on sports months. I got takes on all kinds of things that I wish I could have been part of yesterday. But I missed you guys. I fully intended on being here and setting up camp all day, and instead I worked from home for one of the first times ever.
Starting the voyage, wish me luck. Sent at 6:30, so I will take back my criticism. I still don't believe you got up at 5, but I will at least admit that you texted us at 6:30.
Might have been 5:05.
Saying you were leaving. All right, well, you're not here now. You're here now. You were not here yesterday. Thank you again to Hunter for stepping into the breach so we could be on the air.
Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you to Josh DiMaggio for doing his part down in Milwaukee. We will get Tausch inside of the Betty Brinn Children's Museum, and we'll get ready for our guy, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch on a lovely Tuesday.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yingling Guest Hotline. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yingling Guest Hotline.
He's Adam Schefter.
But it's hard to argue with what he's doing. He's playing at an elite level right now.
The Yingling Guest Hotline on ESPN Wisconsin.
They're winning games. He's playing great football. I think every time he does that, he wins over more and more people.
Yingling, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Spring is here, and living with your old, drafty, foggy, dirty, hard-to-open, bad windows is no longer an option. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Make your fitness goals last with Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country with 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. At Johnson Fitness and Wellness, you'll find top-rated treadmills, strength equipment, ellipticals, bikes, and more, all guided by certified fitness experts who match the right equipment to your goals, space, and budget. And with white glove delivery and installation, plus flexible financing options, you can build your home gym with confidence. Visit one of their stores today or online at johnsonfitness.com.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition at goodkarmabrands.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wilde Tausch rolls on with Mark Tauscher live from the Betty Brinn Children's Museum as part of our partnership with Sendix, where he is of the belief that he's repainting a wall. We are hoping that he is going to be freehanding some sort of a painting of a badger or maybe a balloon, flowers, still life. We'll have to wait and see what exactly his assignment is. I spent a lot of time yesterday, including on KBN, where our friend Brad Nortman is not only one of our favorite punters, but also worked in the realm of high finance for a while before he joined us in this endeavor. And he pointed out what I thought was very intelligently, that these private equity deals that owners are doing, like Stephen Ross down in Miami, selling a 1% stake in his $12.5 billion valued organization and collecting $125 million for it. He said that that's rich guys lining their pockets, and that with the salary cap and revenue sharing, that it shouldn't have the kind of, and I don't think I'm misquoting him here, the kind of impact that we're fearing it will have with private equity being in the mix. Because that, Tausch, is what prompted the discussion in Ed Policy, or as you like to call him, Mr. Policy's interview with the Sports Business Journal, which led to a lot of frenzied discussion about the naming rights for Lambeau Field. When I tell you that that's what Brad, who knows a lot more about finance than me, theorized, does that make you feel better, worse, or have no impact whatsoever?
Uh-oh.
Apparently no impact whatsoever.
No, it appears we have lost Tausch momentarily. We'll see if we can get him back.
We will effort on that. Jesse, you were following along with yesterday's program. Obviously, we spent some time playing a little game of who plays in this arena, which one I thought extremely well. I'm curious, did you think the discussion of naming Lambeau Field after Dunkin' Donuts or Quick Trip or whatever it might be, did you find that concerning, or are you worried about that, or not really?
I'm not worried about it whatsoever. Here's where I generally stand on this. And I was listening to you guys extensively yesterday.
Thanks a lot.
Working hard from home. I think naming rights are a good thing for all of our favorite sports teams. If it's an extra revenue source, if we want to name Titletown and sponsor it, like, that's fine. It's still going to be Titletown to everybody. When you say where you're going, you're going to say Titletown. But it's great to have partners attached to things. It's great that American Family Insurance stepped up and wanted to have the naming rights to the Brewers Stadium a couple of years ago. It's great that there are a bunch of partners who are involved and around the Green Bay Packers who would want to add an extra source of revenue for the team to succeed. Ultimately, if we're sports fans who want to see our teams thrive, we want extra revenue to come in because it offers better opportunities for fans. And ultimately, the hope is less money out of our pockets so that we don't have to be the ones who are helping fund some of the things because it's coming in from great advertising partners of all the different teams and leagues.
Yeah, I think stadium names, generally speaking, I agree with you, unless they're truly iconic. Now, if we get Tausch back, he'll tell you that Wrigley is a gum company. But Wrigley, Fenway, Lambeau, I don't even know if there's any others that are even on that list where, and I was saying this to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, or Jen and Chewy today because Gabe's in Las Vegas. I would be curious if there would be actually backlash toward a company that puts its name on the stadium ahead of Lambeau Field, and whether they would get the bang for the buck that they'd be investing, because what are we going to call it anyway? Lambeau Field, right? Did you know that Arrowhead it's like Arrowhead at GEHA, I don't know how to pronounce that.
They changed that a couple of years ago.
No one says that.
No, but
no
you see
one
it on,
says Gaia.
You see it on every broadcast that they have at a Chiefs game, and the Chiefs have been the most popular NFL team for the last several years. They get a bunch of primetime games. They get a bunch of national exposure, and that's great for that partner to be involved so that the Chiefs can then do more things for generating revenue. So in the economics of sports, I think it's perfectly fine. Like, sure, everybody calls it Arrowhead Stadium, but just because you don't call it that in casual conversation doesn't mean that that company isn't getting their money's worth by sponsoring that stadium. Or
really?
That
Tell me what they manufacture or what they do.
I believe it's a health company. I'm not positive.
Okay.
But, again, I don't live in Kansas
City. They actually paint walls.
I don't know if it's a national brand. I assume it's more of a local brand in Kansas City, and I'm sure they know, just like I'm sure there are plenty of partners locally here. Let's say one that's involved with our show, Gruber Law Offices. I'm sure that people in Florida don't really know what Gruber Law Offices is if they watch a Bucs game on national TV and they see that advertisement on the little billboard on the side of the floor, but everybody in Wisconsin knows what it is. That's great bang for David Gruber's buck.
GEHA, G-E-H-A, is a federal employee health benefits company.
There you go.
So you're neither a federal employee. Well, you're pretty healthy. I'll give you that. Tausch, you've joined us. Hi.
Yeah, we're back talking Lambeau, right?
It would be great if you understood that we were just trying to fill time while we were trying to get connected.
No, I was listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and I think the point on this whole thing is fans are going to do what they want. Fans care about winning. And if, I was going to say Mark Murphy, if Mr. Ed Policy thinks that this is what is needed to be done to do it, I guess I'm just. This is what it is.
Do you think he thinks they have to do it though?
Not right now.
Do you believe that? Like yes, that was my point about my conversation with Brad Nortman. Is that his argument, and he knows a lot more about money than I do, is that this is just for billionaires to have put some cash in their pockets. You pocket $125 million by selling 1% of your team because it's valued at $12.5 billion? Must be nice. But I'm curious where that advantage comes from if the salary cap is still in place.
The advantage comes from having extra capital to do all of the things that you want to do and to have more people bought in. Like, I guess when you're looking at it, is there a factor of too much? And that was kind of what we were talking about. If you're going to need to keep some costs down, and I think you're going to, with food. You see it already with certain teams. They have concessions that are a lot less. And I think that trend needs to continue. You're going to need more capital in other places. It is not, I don't think this is just we need this to put more money in the owners' pockets. They also have a ton of carrying costs. Businesses need to continue to grow. Any business, ask the newspaper business. They were flush with cash 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And you know what? Things change, markets change, and you better have a war chest so that you can adapt and adjust to that change. And if you don't, you end up going away to White Buffalo, or you end up going away a hard copy newspaper. Like, that's just how it is. And if you're not foresightful enough to see that, you end up in the trash heap. So I get it. I understand why people look at it from the perspective that they do. But the reason you do this is because you can, and because there's companies feel like it's great value to associate with the Green Bay Packers, with the Milwaukee Bucks, with the Orlando Magic, or they wouldn't do it. There's more to it than just, I don't even know what the heck Giha is. There's hospitality with it. There's being able to use their brand out in the community of their logos and all their markings. There is a great value to that. And so why do we care? Like, I know people are were irritated with AmFam Field when they did it. We should have been thanking American Family Insurance. That helps give the Brewers some added revenue to maybe be able to keep a few players, or to be able to pay a coach, or to be able to do things. And yes, if you want to call it whatever you want, great. But the broadcast, I look at it from the complete opposite perspective of saying, we need businesses to support these teams. We need corporations to do that because, A, it's good for them to have entertainment to keep their employees happy and to keep them fulfilled, just like having the Overture Center. And all of these businesses support that, and nobody's bickering about it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's...
the business that's in.
I don't think anybody's saying that they don't need companies to support it. Also, Miller Park was Miller Brewing. Like, we're talking about a completely different stadium that I do believe that I saw it with friends of mine in Denver when they renamed Mile High. There was all kinds of backlash with that. And they've been through multiple names there. We just talked yesterday about the stadiums. I agree with you on AmFam Field. It's great that AmFam stepped up when Miller was not going to keep the naming rights. Again, I don't know if it's the same for iconically named stadiums. And as Ed Policy points out in that article, when Soldier Field becomes whatever they're going to become when they move to Hammond, Indiana, Lambeau Field will stand alone as the only one without a sponsor. And when you're the only one, and when you're viewed differently, because you're the team that's owned by the community and everything else, I am curious to see if this was so easy and they weren't concerned about the negative reaction, then what the hell are they waiting for? Do it now, then, if you don't think my point is valid. Why aren't they doing it right this very second to get more money?
Maybe they are. And maybe that's the trial balloon that he put out there.
Well, I look forward to
telling me. Let me ask you this: you're writing your article. You're talking on Wilde Tausch. Are you going to say Lambeau Field at Quick Trip Stadium or
no?
Would you? No, you're not going to.
Neither are you. When you say you're going to the game and you're going to be up in the luxury suites with,
I say I'm going to AmFam Field. That's what I say.
Yes, because that's the name of the stadium. If they call it Lambeau Field at Quick Trip Center, and you say you're going to see City and TJ and the crew because you're all going to be in the alumni suite, are you going to say, I'm going up to Lambeau Field at Quick Trip Center? Or are you going to say, hey, City and TJ and I were at Lambeau on Sunday. What a great game.
I'm sure initially it'll be Lambeau. But I'm guessing at some point, hey, if somebody is going to support our football team, it will always be Lambeau. There's no doubt. But if they're going to support and do this to bring revenue in, they deserve that. They deserve that recognition. Otherwise, what are they doing? So I get it. Your whole Geehaw point was cute. I think that's great. But at some point, Kansas City's moving to a whole different state. Their stadium is. And if I want to keep the Green Bay Packers, and listen, I poo-pooed Ed Policy when he said that. And I don't think there's ever a time where he's going to, uproot this team. I don't think that'll ever happen. But if this is some of the price that you have to pay to make sure that is the case, I'm all in on it. I don't want this team going anywhere. And if you have to put a sponsorship to it, I don't think that's going to be the savior of this. But if it helps, I'm in.
Yeah, they're not going to get $125 million for the naming rights like Stephen Ross just pocketed from selling 1% stake in his $12.5 billion valued franchise. But again, I'm eager to see where this goes. Just like I'm eager to get a new door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, if you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time, because Pella is giving 0 interest financing all the way to 2032. That's right, 0% interest until 2032. In Wisconsin, we've seen it, man. Your home takes a beating year-round. You think you're out of it. You think spring is here. Bam! 27 inches of snow, 0 degrees. You better make sure your windows and doors are right. They can improve your comfort, boost energy efficiency, and will upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home and within your budget with 0 interest for 6 more years, all the way to 2032. You upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Evan Cohen joins us on the Yingling Guest Hotline next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Evan Cohen on Wilde Tausch is brought to you by Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country. Shop in-store or online at johnsonfitness.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Joining us now on the Yuengling Guest Hotline, the oldest brewery in America is now officially in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Family owned and operated for 6 generations. Enjoy responsibly. It is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
Super duper. Did you guys spend any time on the discussion of Lambeau Field naming rights on your show, or is that too localized for you guys?
Yeah, that didn't come up. Sorry, Jason.
I didn't think so. That's good news, because we can move on to something else. Free agency.
Well, why? I mean, it sounds like it's probably a big deal, no?
There was some debate on it. To be sure.
No, Jason. So Jason doesn't think it makes. He will not call it whatever the company is. I don't want to misrepresent what you just said, Jason. So correct me when and if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and
but
neither will you.
My point is, all fans should be thinking about is yes, there's a tradition here. Lambeau Field will always be Lambeau Field, but if there's a revenue stream that a team can use that will help them win, fans should be on board with that. They did it, and there was a big thing when American Family Insurance did AmFam Field. There was some pushback, but I think as time has elapsed, it's been more and more people call it AmFam Field, and they help by being that partner to step up to support their local team. I don't get where the big pushback would be.
Yeah, I think I can actually help hopefully solve this pretty quickly.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Salary cap versus cash spend. 2 huge differences in the NFL. Everyone talks about salary cap, right? Well, the key in the NFL is actually cash spent because, for example, if the Packers wanted to create more salary cap room, the way to do it is to cash spend. More likely than not, that comes with conversion of bonuses for guys like Jordan Love and Micah Parsons, guys that are going to be the givens, so to speak. Like, you know what you're going to get. You're not worried about paying them up front. But in order for that to happen, you have to have cash to do that. Not every team does. So if that brings more money to you, and thus the cash spend increases for the Packers, those rights are a big, 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 big deal.
Well, there you go.
Also,
we will see.
I find it interesting that you guys are saying. Are you both saying you will not refer to the stadium by the name?
I'm saying that I don't think fans
will, but it's going to be
call
Lambeau.
it that.
Yeah,
I think
Jason's
fans
right
will
on
say,
that.
"Hey, are you going to Lambeau this weekend?" They won't say, "Hey, insert corporation here."
No.
Okay, got it.
Jason's not. I will. That was what I just learned from that whole ordeal. All right, Evan. I listened to Unsportsmanlike on my drive down to Milwaukee this morning, and Greg Gard was on. I thought he was fantastic, as he always is. What did we glean from Greg this morning on your show?
I think he did just, honestly, from my perspective, as somebody who is a UW-Madison graduate, my goal for that 10 minutes was to give the nation insight, not as much into the team, but into the person leading the program that hopefully will attract others to want to be a part of. And I think he did that. Listen, let's be honest. It's the best case scenario for the Badgers to have a host, and it happens to be me, nationally, to embrace the programs, right? Whether it's Coach Gard or Coach Fickle or anybody. I want to have them on in order to show off the programs. And I think Coach Gard did that. He also gave a newsy update when it came to Nolan Winter, right? That he was going to be playing. He talked about how great the backcourt is. I think that he did an unbelievable job of describing the two guys, that Boyd is the alpha dog and Blackwell is a duck. He described
I like that. The duck.
And, 25 years in the state. He lit up when talking about the Packers. I just think that Greg Gard on a national level today had 10 minutes to show off his personality and that program in a way that somebody out there, a high school coach, a parent, a high school player, a transfer could say, I like that guy. That guy seems like a good dude. Let me look into that more. And I hope we accomplish that today.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was talking this morning on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Morning News, and the question was,
no big deal.
Frank Kaminsky made a statement saying that basically the committee screws over the Badgers. They send them out to Portland. They're always looking for ways, which I don't 100% agree, but I think in this case, they did put Wisconsin in a bad spot. And I actually believe part of it is, and Greg mentioned this on your show this morning, that the stereotype of the Dick Bennett era still kind of has some stick-to-itness with Wisconsin, even though they play nothing like what Dick Bennett did when he coached. There is that stigma.
That's interesting.
And I think Gardo was very clear that's, and if you watch any basketball, that's not what this is. But I do think there's still a stigma of, we don't really want Wisconsin to be on because they take charges, they play great defense, and they set screens, and they can't score. Well, that is no longer the case, obviously, and I think there is a little bit of that national perspective that still irritates us Wisconsinians.
Yeah, I think, if that's the case, that's kind of wild to me. It may be the case, but it also, the Dick Bennett system won a championship a few years ago for Virginia, and was just hired by the Lakers, right? And Tony, so we should get over that. I hadn't thought about that, honestly. I think you're probably right. When you hear Wisconsin basketball, I think you think, a 45-42 game is probably what you blindly think about if you're gonna do that. But I could be wrong. Do you know, by the way, I learned this yesterday. I'm not going to reveal Matt LePay as my source, but do you know that according to my sources, do you know when the last time Wisconsin played in Portland was?
Oh, 80s?
1991. They played against Portland. Do you know who the point guard was for Portland that year? Terry Porter. What?
Yeah, he was for the Portland Trailblazers. He was the point guard.
No,
the Badgers played the Portland Trailblazers.
The Portland Trailblazers.
UW Stevens Point.
Damian Lillard.
Dick Bennett.
Oh my God! Not the Blazers. UW-Madison. When the last time they played in Portland, Oregon, was 1991. Yeah. The point guard for Portland was Eric Spoelstra, head coach of the Miami Heat.
Wow.
So it wasn't Terry Porter and it wasn't Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Well, Terry Porter
I'm with Jason on this.
That was a great squad.
Terry Porter played
Jerome
for Stevens
Kersey,
Point.
Cliff Robinson,
That's the
Clyde.
NBA.
Yeah, but that was a squad. That was
but the Badgers didn't play the Trailblazers.
I understand that.
Do you?
How am I supposed to know who Portland, the University of Portland? How am I ever supposed to know?
You're not. That's why I'm bringing it up. But you went to the hype. This was going to be a quick note.
Yeah.
You went to somehow the Badgers playing with Terry Porter, who was on UW's team.
No.
Against
I
the Blazers.
mentioned Terry Porter because he's a Wisconsin great, and that team was criminally underrated. That's why I brought it up.
I think Evan was just looking for Evan, who was the point guard for the University of Portland?
It was a quick little note.
I can't name a lot of Portland Trailblazers, though.
I just named a bunch. That was a fun. I mean, that squad should have won a championship. Jordan,
there's too many.
stopped
There's
him.
too many of those on that team that are not alive anymore. It's actually sad. Go look
Jerome
that up.
Kersey
Kevin Duckworth.
passed. Who else passed?
Kevin Duckworth passed. Kevin Duckworth and Cliff Robinson.
00. Yep.
Cliff Robinson passed as well.
Dang. Way to bring down the mood.
Yeah, do you have a conversational segue for us now?
Do I?
Who? Evan?
Well, whoever brought up the, a lot of those guys are dead.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, that was kind of Evco.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that was Evco.
Well, the Badgers are very much alive.
I will segue.
There you go.
Glide the Glide is
very professional.
What do we think? Because I took a lot of heat when my Justin Fields should be the backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. And, decided? You know who just decided that it was a good idea to have Justin Fields as potentially their starting quarterback for a couple of weeks? Oh, Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs decided to pay him $3 million, get him out of New York, and give up a draft pick. I thought the Jets would have to cut him. They obviously got a pick. What did you make of that?
I thought it was the best decision of Justin Fields' career so far. Because per all the reports, he had options, and he chose Kansas City. And I think it was absolutely brilliant by him to just attach himself to Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid for whether it's this year or years to come. Brilliant move. And I think that absolutely that is something that, Tausch, you're justified in your Justin Fields thought because of the fact that good teams wanted him. I also think that I'm justified when I brought up with you guys last week the idea of the Packers potentially they should look at Anthony Richardson, as I saw Domofsky put that out this week, that I believe that that's the same kind of theory is let's have the reclamation quarterback and let's see what we can do with them because we've proven to be pretty good at this historically. So, yeah, I think that's your next call if I'm the Packers.
Is Anthony Richardson worth giving up a draft pick for right now?
Is Justin Fields?
Well, Andy Reid thought so. I would not have.
I feel like Justin Fields at least has a little bit more of pelts on the wall, as Mike McCarthy would say. I know he's also got a lot of uneven play. I just don't know what there is from Anthony Richardson.
Go look at the team's record. The team's record in games he starts, Jason. I believe it's 8-7. I'm not suggesting it's because of him. I'm not suggesting he's Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck in a Colts uniform. What I am saying is his presence has allowed for more wins than you would think. Much better win percentage than Justin Fields had. I'm going to guess a much better win percentage than Malik Willis had in Tennessee. And if you believe the Packers roster is good around him, which I know you guys both do, then that win percentage can continue if he is forced into starting. I could be wrong on that. You have to check. In games he started, is he 8? I think they're 8-7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't know what between his injuries and his performance individually when he played, I don't know where he's at and how. Like, if there was another scenario like there was for Malik Willis, where 19 days after he joined the team, he had to start a game against, I believe, Anthony Richardson and the Colts.
Yes.
I don't know how Anthony Richardson would perform. Again, I don't know where he is at development-wise. I think it's unlikely that they would catch lightning in a bottle twice like that with a reclamation project that could help them immediately. If they think that they are a Super Bowl team, I don't know if there's a big difference between Desmond Ridder, who's already on their roster, who has started a bunch of games in the NFL, and Anthony Richardson coming into a new system. I don't know the answer to that.
Can I give you another name then?
Yes.
What about going right back to the team you got Willis from? What about Will Levis?
And his Mayo endorsement.
Yeah, just saying. I like him.
Yeah. Again, I think, and Tausch has made this point many times over the years, where you go matters. I don't know how much Will Levis's success, failure is because he went to Tennessee, but look at Tennessee's track record with quarterbacks since basically Steve McNair, right?
Yeah.
It's not been good.
Tannehill was their quarterback AFC Championship game, I will say, which is wild to think, but.
Okay, let me pose this question to you.
Wait, can I just ask one thing on that though? Because you said Tausch. No, this is a good one, Tausch. It's about you, so you'll like it.
Terry Porter.
I love talking about that. That's true.
I know you do. Tausch, you said, or Jason just said about Tausch, that where you go matters. Have you played out the idea? What if you weren't drafted by the Packers? What would your career have been?
Yeah, I definitely have played that out, and I think, as I've said numerous times, there's about, I would say 10% of players in this league can go and play anywhere and be a fit, and they'll make it work. There's some guys that are talented enough that they'll be 2 or 3 years, but for most of us, the fit and how we're used will determine if we have a 10 or 11-year career or if we have a 5 or 6-year journeyman career that we bounce around. That I've always believed, and that's why when there's a coaching change, you never know if you're the right fit for that, if they want to go younger. It's hugely imperative for about 80 to 85% of all NFL players, the right fit, the right place at the right time. Absolutely. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but but you didn't answer what you would have been. Would you have been the fit anywhere or the 5, 6, 7?
So listen, I'm arrogant enough to say that if I had been drafted by Seattle with Mike Holmgren and Matt Hasselbeck being the quarterback, I would have had a long career. I don't know that for sure. I can't tell you that for sure. The fact that I ended up in Green Bay with an offense that fit, ball comes out, you run the football a bunch, that helped. But if you said, hey, you were going to go somewhere where it was going to be a run and shoot and it was going to be, you weren't going to run the football, you weren't going to do, would I have been a starter as a rookie? No, I would not have been. And I don't think, but you never know. I do know Green Bay with Brett and with Mike Sherman was a perfect fit for me, and that allowed me to get my feet set. And once you can get your feet set and get some confidence, everything changes for a lot of us that are drafted late or undrafted and have to keep carving out a career. All right, my question before I forget is Green Bay, if you're sitting here right now, you have one of 3 options. You go a veteran that has done it, Kirk Cousins, a reclamation project like Anthony Richardson, or you draft a young player that you think can really be good in your system in a couple of years. Which way are you going? All end up, the top 2, they're all 6th round picks. You either draft a kid 6th, you give up a 6th, or you sign Kirk Cousins as a free agent. Which way are you going with a team you think can win? Hello?
It appears we have lost Evan.
Oh, sorry, I hit mute by accident. Richardson is where I would go first.
Okay,
Richardson
why?
Is where I would go first. Well,
why is that?
Because I dream of perfection, and perfection is Jordan Love staying healthy 17 games. And then I think perfection to me is maximizing roster spots also. And then I think about, are there 2 QB sneaks per game that Anthony Richardson can give me because he's an enormous human being, where he actually gives me value where another backup quarterback would not in my dream of perfection? So that's why.
Okay.
I think Justin Fields with the Chiefs, and I said it this morning on Unsportsmanlike, I think he's going to be on the field at times with Patrick Mahomes. I think they're just going to use I think it's almost like a trade where in my head, I see it playing out this way. Andy Reid says to him, you're going to have this entire offseason because Patrick is not available to play right now, where you're going to work with Eric Bieniemy and I as if you're Patrick. And then you may get a game or two as if you're Patrick. And then when Patrick's ready, you're going to be Cordell Stewart or Taysom Hill at times. Not all the time and not as much as them. But, like, are you cool with that trade-off? That we may use you in ways you've never been used because you've always been a quarterback, but your physical presence as a runner could be advantageous to us. Are you cool with that trade-off? How could the answer be anything but yes?
Am I wrong to be thinking Zach Wilson?
For the Packers?
Yeah, isn't he a free agent? He's not under contract to the Dolphins, is he?
No,
Isn't
and
that
they,
where he was?
yeah, and Willis and Ewers will be one too. I don't know. Are they going to call Aaron Rodgers for an endorsement? Because if so, I don't think he's going to give it.
Yeah. There's a guy that was a very high pick, and if he, I don't know. I don't know how things have played out for him. It was obviously very ugly when
Not
Rodgers
well.
got hurt and he had to play.
Yeah, I mean, you know how things have played out for him. Not well. But it would be his fourth team, on that fourth team thing.
I learned that last week. Yes, indeed. It would be. I do that. That's why I brought it up.
There's a theme. There's a theme with that. I mean,
that whole theory, though, Sam Darnold went 14-3 with the Vikings, too, on his third team.
That was his fourth team, Tausch, but good try.
Well, then his fifth team, he was better.
Okay,
so
then,
team?
yeah. Sure, but I was talking about when they really start to hit would be the fourth team, which you just proved. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That backfired.
Say hello to our friends in L.A. Let's get you out before they start calling you when you're about to say something. Yeah.
Who are
Thanks,
you friends
Evan.
with in L.A., Jason? Just out of curiosity. Which one of them is your friend?
I don't have. I think of them all as friends, all as great teammates and friends.
All right. See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. Tausch wants to give away some Iron Jock gear.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm going to pick what number, but I'm going to also tell you as a former athlete, I've worn just about every workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock, their performance apparel built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you work. From the gym all the way to the pickleball court, Iron Jock will keep you dry, comfortable, and confident. And listeners, you can get 40% off all Iron Jock T-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. Iron Jock will help you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. And you get a chance to win an Iron Jock hoodie. Right now, caller 111 to win an Iron Jock hoodie at 844-770-3776.
Caller 111 wins Iron Jock gear from Iron Jock. Nothing compares to Iron Jock. 844-770-3776. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick. Your email said you had a big surprise. Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for. Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Well, March hoops are here, and it is one of the best times of the year to be watching sports. And right now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code WI. You get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, and suddenly every dunk, every three, every big performance matters even more. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If your picks are right, you cash in. You can build lineups across basketball, hockey, baseball, college hoops, whatever you're watching. I like the flexibility too. With Flex Play, you can still get paid even if one pick misses. Want a bigger payout? Go Power Play. And with early payouts, if your player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game ends. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks to Evan Cohen, who joined us on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, you've been waiting for it, Wisconsin, and now it is finally here. 6 generations, family-owned and operated now in Wisconsin. D.G. Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly. Are the Packers in such a champagne problem scenario that all people want to talk about is who the backup quarterback's going to be?
No.
Because there's a lot of people talking about it. Jesse's got links here to his guy Barnwell. We got John Breach over at CBS Sports. We got Evan Cohen talking about Anthony Richardson. We got Domofsky talking about Anthony Richardson.
I don't know about you guys, but when I've been out and about and people have come up and said hi the last 2 weeks or so, that's been the number one thing that people have brought up in a little conversation. Who's going to be the backup for Love now?
Listen, yeah, that's always the case. Quarterbacks sell. That's what people are intrigued by. We have our starter, so that isn't in play. There are numerous issues that this team has besides backup quarterback, but I'm not going to poo-poo the fact that if Malik Willis isn't on this roster, the Green Bay Packers aren't in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Truth.
So if that is indeed the case, hopefully, Evan's right. Jordan plays 17 weeks. He's stays healthy. He plays at a big-time level, and we're in a position you never need to worry about it. Well, it's getting to be harder and harder to do that in the NFL. And the Green Bay Packers have done a good job, obviously, by picking up Malik. and finding ways to utilize him in a way that you could win football games and make playoffs. So it is an important spot. I think Green Bay found a formula. I think they will stick with it. I do think they'll be heavily involved in the Anthony Richardson scenario. I think there'll be a lot of teams that think he can be their kind of that answer, maybe even as a future starter. If I'm Anthony Richardson, this is where I want to be. I want to come to Green Bay because I see that it will be a low stress, high reward. He could go through, and if he could get in and win a few games and show his development like Malik did, who's to say he can't go and kind of build off of and have the same kind of next step in his career path? He right now, he's not, I don't think, at the same place that Justin Fields was, because Justin Fields has played a lot more tape, a lot more scars. But, Anthony Richardson wasn't able to finish a drive. There's a lot of negativity about him right now. And the Indianapolis Colts just paid Daniel Jones pretty good starter money.
$88 million.
Yeah, $44 a year to be the guy. And they drafted him. So staying there isn't going to behoove him. Coming to Green Bay, letting Matt LaFleur kind of get his system into him could really springboard his career. Because right now, I don't think he's in a position to say, I want to go and be a starter somewhere. That shouldn't even be on his radar. His radar should be, how can I get a lot better? How can I help a team win? And how can I grow into being the guy that everybody thought I was when I got drafted 4th overall? Green Bay can be that place. So I would be all in on that too. I don't want to give up a ton, and I don't know how much money you owe him, because I don't want to be paying a backup quarterback $8 to $10 million a year. I don't think we're in that place. So I don't know if that is how it's going to shake out, but the whole project and process could look eerily similar to what we just saw, and we had a ton of success with that process with Malik Willis.
First of all, we probably have to revise our statement, because he goes into the Bears game after the concussion to Love, and they didn't win. And then he plays and starts in the Baltimore game, which they didn't lose because he didn't play well, but they didn't win that game either because they couldn't stop the run.
Oh, I never said they won every game. I said they don't make the playoffs without it.
Yeah, I think they make the playoffs no matter who plays quarterback last year in the games that Jordan missed, because he didn't play in any games that made a difference in their record.
There were no games that Jordan got hurt mid-game and he came in and played?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unlike that first year. So there's no doubt, though, that he was an enormously valuable backup option. So I don't disagree at all with the premise. I just wanted to make sure that I was double-checking that, because maybe I'm missing something. But last year, Jordan Love, the reason that prompted me to think about it is somebody said, has Jordan Love ever made it through a season without getting hurt? Well, his first year as the starter, I don't think he missed any time. We didn't have to see Sean Clifford at any point. So I think he has done it once. But, yeah, last year with a concussion, the year before, obviously, with the knee and the groin injuries, and then the elbow injury in the last game of the regular season as well. All right, we need to get to the 10 o'clock hour, and we need to do that by me telling you first about Potawatomi Casino Hotel. You don't need to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped. Your next getaway is at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay, the biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites, perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. Room service? Absolutely. And you're steps away from everything that's happening inside. If you're hungry, you've got lots of options, from the premium steaks of the Dream Dance Steakhouse to pizza, burritos, and quick bites at the Marketplace. Rock and brews for that high-energy vibe. Cream City Coffee Company. Food and drink specials happening all the time. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, a full night out all in one place at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Join the Brewers Series against the White Sox March 26th, 28th, and 29th. Grab this year's first giveaway on Saturday the 28th, a replica of American Family Field for the first 25,000 fans, courtesy of American Family Insurance. On the 29th, it's Kids Cheer Free. Buy an adult terrace seat and receive a free ticket for kids ages 14 and under. On Sunday the 29th, the first 5,000 kids get a drip necklace giveaway. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now. Jesse, I see Power Rankings Tuesday on the rundown. Do we have the NFL Power Rankings on March 17th?
We do not. Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure I could, if you really wanted me to go find some, I could go try and dig some up and I could find them.
Oh, I see the headlines for each segment and I see Power Rankings Tuesday. I'm very confused. So we are not power ranking the Packers.
We are not. No.
What are we power ranking?
If we were to power rank where we think they fall right now, based on where they are, with free agency for all intents and purposes over, right? Now you're bargain hunting. And with a draft class that will not include a first-round pick, are they still very clearly in the top 7 of your NFC?
Yes.
Who's ahead of them in your mind? The Rams? The Seahawks?
Seattle and the Rams. I don't know if I'd even put Detroit ahead of them. I look at it similarly to how I saw it at the end of last season, which was Seattle and the Rams I thought had elevated themselves to the top 2. San Francisco is in the same boat as Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit. That's where I would lump those 4 teams. So you can make a pick. You could argue with me and say Green Bay could be 3 or 4. You could argue with me and say they're 6 or 7. And I don't think I could fight you too hard either way, because I don't know if we've addressed the big things that we needed to address yet. There's still a ton of unknowns as far as where this team is. Now, when we get Devontae Wyatt and Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons back, all of a sudden everything's starting to feel a lot better about where we are. But we still have our question marks. Yeah, they picked up Hargraves. That helps as far as that interior push and, being able to slow down the run games of other teams. Yeah, no arguments. But have we gotten better in the secondary by getting rid of Hobbs and bringing in, help me out with his name,
Benjamin St. Juste.
St. Juste. I just saw, I think it was Zach Jacobson on Packers Twitter, say he was the highest rated corner in zone coverage last year. That makes me think we're going to play a lot of zone with Jonathan Gannon. I don't know if that's accurate, but I can follow a breadcrumb. I can see things and say, why'd they pick him up and pay him a little something? Well, probably because they feel like he can fit a role in what they're looking to do. And so defensively, I think that we're going to be in a pretty good spot. We lost Quay Walker, but another year of Edgerrin Cooper and then a veteran presence. And how we're going to end up playing defense, we still don't know because we haven't heard from Jonathan Gannon. But there's some crumbs that are getting kind of laid as far as what you're thinking. But offensively, unless and until that offensive line is better and showcases that it's going to be, I'm not certain I can sit here with a straight face and tell you offensively we're going to be a lot better because I don't know that. There's a lot more unknowns. There's potential to be better, but potential, as we all know,
will get you fired.
There you go.
Some interesting goings on in South Green Bay / South Florida. We just spent some time talking about Malik Willis. I have a question based on this trade that just came across my desk. So Tausch will tell us about UW Credit Union, and then we'll discuss what the Dolphins are up to as they are cleaning house under John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley.
Indeed. And you know what? People ask, Tausch, why'd you join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app that is fantastic, rewards checking with early payday, and a beautiful Bucky debit card. And also have been serving Wisconsin all the way back to 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local, and they're everywhere. You have a community event, don't care what campus, where you're at, UW Credit Union is going to be there supporting that local community that they're in. Stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
What would Liam Neeson or the villain that he battles in Taken say to Malik Willis right now? Gulak. We'll explain next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch.
All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
A very hearty hello to you good people out there on St. Patrick's Day. I'm Ruth from Horicon Bank. I suppose you thought I was in Downpatrick in County Down, but I'm right here in the Mayfair Collection branch of Horicon Bank. Did you know that Horicon Bank has been serving people like your good selves for 130 years? So they're good at it. Come on in to any of our 20 branches and see for yourselves.
Member FDIC.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Let's celebrate Milwaukee. Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sale is on. This month, we're celebrating with anniversary savings on over 1,400 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Payments as low as $250 a month. Financing as low as 0%. Plus 2 years of included maintenance on us. The Ewald Automotive Group's 62-year anniversary sales event. This month only at every Ewald location. Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Select models with approved credit. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Hack yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Listen, when it came to buying an engagement ring for my now fiance, I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I went to the team at Robert Hack. I heard her say words like radiant cut and solitaire, but to be real honest, I didn't really know what that meant. So I wrote it down, I brought it to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield, and they knocked it out of the park. It's true, if you've never been through this process before, the team at Robert Hack are absolute experts. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, 1 in Greenfield, Brookfield South, and Brookfield North. If you're looking to take the next step like I did, and your girlfriend maybe is posting things on her Pinterest page or is showing you pictures, bring it into Robert Hack. They'll do their best to duplicate a dream ring for her, just like they did for my fiance. Moral of the story, if you are like me and you want to start, you just don't really know where, the answer's clear. Visit one of the 3 Robert Hack locations in the Milwaukee area. Just like me, at the end, you'll say, Hack yeah, with Robert Hack Diamonds. And RobertHackDiamonds.com, that's RobertHackDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
A significant trade in the National Football League.
Yeah, I'd say.
Involving some Packers-adjacent individuals, like the general manager in Miami, John Eric Sullivan, the head coach, Jeff Hafley, and their new starting quarterback, Malik Willis. What you talking about, Willis? Who are you going to throw the football to? The Miami Dolphins, sending Jalen Waddle, no relation to Tom Waddle, I don't think, and a 4th-round pick to the Denver Broncos for a 1st-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and a 4th-round pick.
Oh, my God. Kudos to you, Eric Sullivan. Oh, my gosh.
Sully with a big move. Now, they have moved on, obviously, from Tua. They moved on from Cheetah. They have now moved on from both of their star wide receivers. And who is left for Malik Willis to throw to? Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, Malik Washington, and a bunch of other guys that, unless you're a hardcore fantasy football player, I'm going to guess that you are largely unfamiliar with Terrace Marshall Jr.?
Yeah, they have 2 first-round picks. One of their guys is going to be their stud wideout.
I would think so, yes. I would think so.
Does this go back now? Because Miami had minimal success. Does this tell you don't pay 2 wideouts? Like, has anyone had success paying 2 wideouts?
Because they paid Tyreek Hill and then they paid Jalen Waddle, or they paid Jalen Waddle and then they signed Tyreek
and
Hill, whatever it was.
Cincinnati paid 2. Dallas is going to pay 2. I think you can't, in today's NFL, I don't think you could pay big boy money to 2.
So the Packers just don't pay any.
Good. Well, eventually they're going to end up paying Christian Watson, and then I'm guessing by the time Watson, at least this is their plan. If I'm Russ Ball, this is how I'm looking at it. All right, Watson will get less than the $40 million that these top guys get. He'll get in that low 30s, and by the time we're thinking about getting rid of him, we'll have to pay Matthew Golden. I think that's probably his plan.
So where does that leave? Because they have to have other guys still too. They just draft and replace.
Isn't that what you just told us all last week?
That that's what I'm saying. So you think those other guys, like, they will not re-sign?
No, I think they will, but it will not be like, if you're paying under 20 a year, that's a third wideout now.
Okay, that
is a third wideout in today's day and age.
And if you're Jaden Reed, you would accept that because you think that's good enough?
I have no idea where. At this point, has Jaden Reed proven enough to say he's a 2 anywhere?
I mean, he led the team in receiving in both the years he was healthy, and last year he missed virtually all the season because he broke his collarbone in week 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, I want him on this team, but I don't envision. I think Green Bay will look at Jaden Reed as, if we can sign him early, great. If not, we'll let him play it out and we'll Dobbs him. Like, I don't think this experiment, I'm just trying to think, have we found a team throughout the last 15 years that have paid 2 big boy wide receiver contracts and said, boy, was that a great move. That helped us win big time.
I don't think
so. They have. I think if you look at Puka's going to get a big deal, and now you're hearing that the Rams are trying to maybe trade Devontae. Like, that's a rumor going around. Devontae's making, I don't know, mid-20s. I don't think he's not making the big boy money. The Justin Jefferson, the Jamar Chase. So this is another reminder.
Are the Vikings paying Addison?
I think they have to.
I have to look.
Or if they,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think they're paying him top. But it just is another reminder that you have the quarterback, or you think you do, with Tua. You get those wideouts. You're going to suffer other places. And it's just the fact that Miami is imploding this up. And what a deal. Like, kudos to Sully. And from Denver's perspective, good luck, because they are going to be paying 2 guys. Because I think they paid their top wideout pretty good money.
Cortland Sutton.
They have a quarterback that's on a rookie deal that I don't know how much Sean Payton likes. And their defense is awesome, but those bills come due. And when you bring a big boy wideout in and you're paying, all of a sudden you can't pay somebody that's really good in the interior of that group. So all of these decisions cascade down, and they set in motion other decisions that have to be made. And as a Packer fan, I don't want us to ever get to the point where we are putting all of our resources, or a big chunk, into 2 wideouts. If you have one like Devontae, I'm fine. Pay him top dollar, and then we have to figure it out. Goody did not figure it out in 2022. When we had old boy Lazard. And when the money got on the table in the San Fran game, everybody saw what happened. It was force feed-a-palooza. And the Detroit Lions saw it, and that ended up being a big reason why the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers finished outside of the playoffs that year, because they couldn't win that game. And when the money was on the table against really good teams, you can take away one guy. You better have somebody else that's not making $30 million be able to make some plays. The good news for the Green Bay Packers is they're going to be paying a tight end top dollar, which is markedly less than a number 2 wideout, and he will be at the best in his position. And if you have a number 1 wideout that you feel is dominant, you feel great about having the middle of the field and the outside covered, and then all you have to do is draft and get good players, not dominant great players. But if you get lucky and strike lightning in a bottle with Matthew Golden, all of a sudden this thing could rocket ship off. And I think that's where the Green Bay Packers feel they are right now.
Jordan Addison is still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, they'll trade him.
He's in his 4th season, and they will decide, I'm guessing, to pick up the 5th-year option if they're not trading him.
If I'm Miami, I'm calling. I don't know who's the GM up in Minnesota now. I'm calling saying, how about what are you looking for from him? Because you do want to have somebody that you feel, if you believe Malik Willis can play, this tells me that the Miami Dolphins are setting up for a Tankapalooza. They want to have solid enough play that they're not embarrassing, but this is going to be a ground and pound, run the football, Malik for 2 years, and we're going to draft somebody next year that's going to learn and watch, and we're going to develop that quarterback in a heavy class in 27. Malik signed basically a 2-year deal. That's what this tells me. Malik is going to be our guy for 2 years. We're getting our main guy in next year's draft as we build up the rest of this roster with a bunch of draft picks in this draft and in next year's draft.
A couple of interesting comments from the ESPN Madison YouTube chat. John suggests time to trade Wicks or Reed to Miami. How do you feel about that?
No, we're not in a position, not with a team that we're expecting to go and do big things. I can't count on Watson playing 17 weeks. I don't know when Tucker's back. Wicks is a good player when he's healthy. He's not healthy. Now, if you want to get a crazy 1st or 2nd round pick, I'm interested. Jaden Reed, I want him to be one of our guys. I want him to be.
Me too.
Making, sign him to a 3-year 51, 17 a year, something like that. And be that number 2-3 guy that is going to be steady, that can do things. But I'm not interested. We're finally feeling good about where we're at depth-wise with this receiving core. Unless Miami wants to give one of those 2nd or 3rd round picks, I'm not even blinking at that conversation.
And then Mike mentions the Bengals, who paid Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and then can't win because their defense is terrible. So when you pay 2 wide receivers, as you like to say, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Peter is your defense, and it's not good enough. So it's great that you have these 2 weapons for Joe Burrow, who's also not on a rookie contract.
And by the way, if your quarterback is the real deal, yes, you want to have a guy you can go to. You want to have studs. If your quarterback's making $60 million a year, you better turn a $3 million a year guy into a $10 million a year guy. Like it can't be, well, I need this. No, you need to be able to throw into tight windows. Maybe guys don't get the separation. But if your guy is the guy, Josh Allen needs a weapon, no doubt. But they're not sitting there saying they need to go get 6 guys and have, paying all this money. That's not where they're at. And Cincinnati, I would bet they're going to look at this, and if they stink again this year, that whole thing's going to be for sale. They'll be the Miami Dolphins of 2026 next year, 27.
Speaking of being smart with your money, Tausch is going to tell you about Annex Wealth Management in a moment, but we need to play trivia next. It is Tuesday, which means it's Badgers Trivia Tuesday. Now, the Badgers
I think I would have moved it to Thursday with the Badgers playing right after our show. I think I would have probably.
Maybe Jesse's got something up his sleeve for Thursday, tournament trivia or something, you know.
Portland Trailblazers of the early 90s.
I am fully aware of when the Badgers play on Thursday, and I do have some things in the works for Thursday's trivia, as we are essentially a 3-hour Badger pregame show on Thursday.
Until you can't get out of your driveway.
Caller 12. Supposed to snow again, isn't it?
Right now, 5-12 matchup for the Badgers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Caller 12 for the High Point Panthers, the 12 seed. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 12 plays trivia presented by Cousins Subs and Iron Jock, but not until Tausch tells us about Annex Wealth Management.
Well, today is St. Patrick's Day, and that's always a good reminder. Tax day is coming, and we all have questions. Can I deduct this? What can we do to save some money? Well, how can we limit how much we have to pay? Because we work hard for our money. We want to keep it. And you know what? Annex Wealth Management is here for you to do that. You know, there's a bunch of changes, a lot of new deductions. There's a car loan interest deduction, a tax deduction for tips, a tax deduction for overtime pay, and for Jason, a senior bonus deduction. The standard deduction is higher for most people as well. I have Form 1040 with new Schedule 1As to claim different new tax breaks, but there are more changes than you know. Make sure you're up to date on everything. And for really good tax planning, like they do at Annex, they'll take into consideration where you're headed, where you're at, and what your goals are in the next few years in retirement. So get in and talk with the good people at Annex. They know their stuff when it comes to taxes. Head over to annexwealth.com to get started today.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tausch here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is ready to slip someone into a green jacket. The next tournament of the season is here, and there's $1,000 in cash prizes. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at Georgia Golf Club, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious, state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and all teams must compete their round by March 31st. Who's walking away with the cash, and who's earning that green jacket?
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousins Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousins Subs, we believe in better.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time now for trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousins Subs.
Wilde Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Iron Jock, performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance, and proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousins Subs. It's lobster season at Cousins Subs. Their lobster salad sub is fresh, flavorful, and only here for a limited time. Try it today.
Our contestant is a savvy veteran who I wonder in retirement, like I'm guessing right around now, he's really starting to get swamped in his old life.
He's itchy. You think he's getting itchy?
Like you after the 4th of July for training camp.
Start smelling that grass, yep.
Jeff in Monroe. Jeff, good morning. How you holding up as tax season is beginning largely without you?
Well, unfortunately, I came back out of retirement to work part-time just during the busy season. So I'm
very Favre
of accountants, isn't he? He is the Brett Favre of accountants.
Got the itch.
He wants to skip camp, but he'll be there on game day.
He's not willing. He's not working in the summer.
Missed the off-season program.
He's not coming to any webinars, but he'll show up for game days. Respect that.
Well, I appreciate it.
I hope you're holding up well for your part-time job then. Let's see how you can fare with our trivia questions today. It is Badgers Trivia Tuesday for Wilde Tausch Trivia presented by Cousins Subs and Iron Jock. Question 1, Jeff, is this. Wisconsin's first-round opponent in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, High Point, is a school located in which state? Is High Point located in North Carolina, New York, or wherever the area code 420 is?
That's funny.
Edgy.
Because of marijuana. It's because of marijuana, yep.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina.
That is correct. Jeff not engaging at all on that.
It's inappropriate. I agree with Jeff.
Yeah. You wrote the question.
Hey, you don't know that. I did.
I do know that.
I'm
Question
just finally
2.
getting it, actually.
Nice.
Too much smoke covering up, huh? Is that what it was?
Kind of funny that they're playing in Oregon. It's like kind of one of their things out there, Portland.
Question 2 in Cheech and Chong trivia is this. Which of these teams is not a 12 seed that has upset 5 seed Wisconsin in the NCAA tournament during Greg Gard's tenure as head coach of the Badgers? So 2 of these are 12 seeds that beat the Badgers when they were a 5 seed. 1 is not. Is it Oregon, James Madison, or Ole Miss? It's a toughie.
I'm going to go with Oregon.
That was the only one I knew was a 5-12. I don't remember the James Madison
one.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
James Madison was 2 years ago. That was a 5-12. We got embarrassed, so they did beat Wisconsin. Oregon did beat Wisconsin in a 5-12. And Ole Miss actually also beat Wisconsin in a 5-12, but that was in 2012 when Ben Brust was on the team and Bo Ryan was the head coach. Wisconsin has lost 3 straight opening round NCAA tournament games when a 5 seed. Their last win as a 5 seed in the first round was against Weber State in 2003.
Was Bruce Weber the coach of that team?
He was not, no.
No.
That seems like a question 3.
That's fair.
Was it a 5-12 game when Wisconsin lost to Southwest Missouri State too? Remember that one?
I do not remember.
That was well, you were very young then. All right, question 3, Jeff. Let's bounce back here.
The point was Wisconsin has not had a good run in 5-12
Yeah, not good when they're a 5 seed. No,
yeah.
You're right. Very good point by you. Question 3. If you thought question 2 was hard, here's question 3. Wisconsin women's basketball earned the program's first berth ever in the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament, the WBIT.
We're just making stuff up now.
Do they still have the WNIT?
They do, yes.
Okay. What was Wisconsin's final record this season after they lost 10 in a row to end the regular season?
I'll get that for you, Jason.
Thanks. Which opponent, Jeff, does Wisconsin play on the road this Thursday in the opening round of the WBIT?
That's 13 and 17. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Did you say they're 13 and 17?
They are, yes. Yeah. Yep.
What are we doing?
Gulak.
5 and 13 they finished in Big Ten conference play.
What are we doing? What are we doing with this?
It's a
opportunity to play in the postseason. Young team can grow for next year.
You're 13 and 17, man. Like, no.
Greater investment in the women's basketball program. They're paying their way out to Oregon.
Chance to snap a 10-game losing streak to end the season.
There can't be many examples of a team that went into a postseason tournament on a 10-game losing streak.
Historic.
Jeff, I don't know how you did it. You got that one? You got one wrong, so you have 3 of the possible 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for coming out of retirement. I've got some W2 questions for you. I'll text you separately. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Love you guys.
All right, love you guys.
That is Wilde Tausch trivia. 13 and 17.
I mean, legitimately, like, what are we doing? Like, what? Come on, man.
On to the postseason, baby.
No.
Opportunity to play another one. Corvallis.
As I look at my calendar, today is March 17th, which means you have 10 days, if you haven't already gotten your tickets and they're selling like hotcakes, to be there for the night that will have everyone talking. Thanalysis Live is back on March 27th at the Riverside Theater. It is loud. It's completely unpredictable. There's no telling who will come on stage. because Thanasis always brings out the stars. Bobby Portis, the Lopez brothers, Stephen A. Smith, and of course his own brother, Giannis.
Giannis put this on social media last night, I saw.
Did he do a Ric Flair imitation? And did he say he's a limousine riding, jet flying? No, he didn't do it.
Jesse, if you go, let's say, and Giannis has been at the live show a few times. If you go to that show, which I'm sure you will, to support our great team in Thanalysis Live, what would you ask Giannis?
Well, I don't know that Giannis is going to be there. I can think of some things I'd ask Ric Flair.
No, I'm saying, I just said if he is there. I didn't say he will be there. I said if.
What would I ask him?
How you think about continue
that? I keep telling you more about the analysis live while you contemplate your question.
I want to know, how you doing? Are you happy? Are you feeling good right now?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks. All right, let's keep it going. My bad. Totally my bad.
What? That's it. I want to know how he's feeling right now. How you doing, Giannis?
How you doing?
How was your drive over?
No. Are you in good spirits? Are you enjoying your time right now?
Hey, Giannis.
Jesse, my bad. Let Jason finish. My bad.
Did you ever get your car stuck after you pulled out of your driveway?
Hey, how long does it take you to drive to work?
Well, maybe Giannis will be there, and maybe Jesse.
Wish my car would have got stuck today.
We'll be there to ask him, how you doing? And if
he's the morally safer of the analysis.
Car's going to get stuck tomorrow, too.
How you doing? How you doing?
Well, if history tells us anything, Ric Flair will not be alone with Thanasis. There are always surprise guests. You just know they're coming. More moments that will lead you to say, hey, you just had to be there for that moment when Jesse asked Giannis, hey, how you doing?
I feel totally bamboozled by this situation right now.
Get your tickets now. TALiveshow.com. That is TALiveshow.com. Thanalysis Live, March 27th. The Riverside Theater, doors at 6, show at 7, Milwaukee legends, nationwide stars. You never know who else is going to walk onto that Thanalysis Live stage. Be there like Jesse Nelson will be to ask. You could ask Ric Flair how he's doing too. That's a kind of question that covers everybody that will be there. TALiveshow.com for tickets. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union. On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
866.
The Island Resort and Casino is the Midwest's premier resort destination, giving guests the total experience with a luxury hotel, full-service spa, live lounge and headline entertainment, multiple dining options, and more, all surrounding a lively Vegas-style casino. And atop many a golfer's bucket list are the island's 2 championship courses, Sweetgrass and Sage Run. When we say your total experience, we mean it. Plan your getaway today at islandresortandcasino.com.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, Tausch.
Yep.
How you doing?
I'm good. I just found out from our friends at Sendix that they have been flying through their paintings, so I'm going to have to miss a segment to go down and finish the wall.
So you are painting a wall?
Yes, I'm painting a wall, and I will video it, make sure I bring it back for that next segment, but I'm going to bounce down after this segment, and I'm going to go paint a wall here at the Betty Brinn Museum in Milwaukee.
With a roller?
I don't know. I don't know all the details yet. But I will make sure to get at least a still photo to give you. I'll let you paint a picture on our video stream of me painting a wall. If that makes any sense.
Sure. So then why don't we do this before we bid you farewell, Van Gogh to go paint a wall.
Good one. Nice.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin now, and then we will move forward without our resident artiste.
Absolutely. I love talking about it, and I love talking about it because, the weather's been rough. We all know that. And this deal that Gina and the great team at Pella put together, 6 years, 0 interest financing. If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, you're not going to get a better time. Right now, you get 0 interest all the way to 2032. Don't wait. Pella's experts, they'll help you find that perfect fit for your home and your budget. And again, 6 years, you don't pay any interest on any of it. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
All right. Well, we will learn more about Tausch's painting work at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum in Milwaukee. And we will continue the program without him when the 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. So stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Harry Douglas.
I thought St. John's winning the Big East tournament and convincingly beating UConn twice, once in the regular season and then in the Big East championship game, I thought they were going to be higher than a 5 seed. Not only were they just a 5 seed, UConn, who lost to St. John's twice this season, including in the championship game in the Big East tournament, they're a 2 seed. But not only are St. John's a 5 seed and UConn a 2 seed, Freddie, they're both in the East region.
Don't get me started.
They played 3 times this season already, Freddie.
I know.
Why are these 2 teams in the same region? It makes no sense to me. Let me keep going, though. I got another one for you.
All right.
You have Louisville.
Same region, by the way.
Same region. If Louisville wins their first round game and Michigan State it wins their first round game, they play each other in the round of 32. Who made this bracket again?
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every March, are brackets the only thing you can think about? Do you have symptoms such as constant bracket obsession or moderate to severe bracket-related distractions? You may be living with bracket brain. Thankfully, there's ESPN Tournament Challenge, the #1 proven way to treat bracket brain right at the source. So this March, download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app, fill out your men's bracket, and get you and your brain in the game. ESPN Tournament Challenge. Play the #1 bracket game. Presented by Allstate.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Nelson, as Tausch is somewhere at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum with Sendix. Great camera work, Jesse. Painting a wall.
There it is.
I am very, very, very curious if they give him a roller. He was very defensive about the painting thing, I thought, early in the show. And I'd say that to his face if he was listening. I'm sure he's a great painter of walls. I personally wanted him to be doing more of a mural.
Yeah, I wanted him doing like the Mona Lisa.
Or something creative.
Picasso, right?
If he's just painting a wall pink or purple or bright green,
Even like some finger painting would have been fun.
He's got the. I'm not. Never mind.
What were you going to say there?
I don't need to incur his wrath further. He's a talented cat. I'm sure that he could come up with a brilliant painting idea on the wall. Just like he came up with what I thought was actually a really good idea, and apparently most of the world did not agree. When he brought up the Justin Fields thing for the Packers as their backup, did you think that was a terrible idea in real time?
I didn't like it. I wouldn't say I thought it was a terrible idea.
Why didn't you like it?
I think Justin Fields has shown what he's going to show at the NFL level.
That he sucks.
Yeah, I think there are quarterbacks who come out of college, and oftentimes it's a lot of the Ohio State guys that are part of this. They're not exclusively part of it, but it seems to be a theme where their skill sets don't really translate to the NFL level. And I think it's because when I hosted ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day with Chris Orr back in the day, he's now a member of the Chiefs coaching staff, Chris Orr, our old teammate.
He'll be coaching Justin Fields.
Well, that's something. He talked about how a lot of times you see college quarterbacks or college offensive systems that are video game offenses, where it's a head coach playing Madden, and he's telling the quarterback, take your first read.
Joysticking.
If it's not there, run. If you can't run, throw it away. And that can inflate stats, and that can be a good system at the college level because of the rules being a little bit different than how you play at the NFL level with the clock stopping and whatnot. So Justin Fields seemed like a guy who his skill set didn't translate to the NFL game. We saw that coming out of Ohio State. We saw it with the Bears. We saw it with the Steelers. And while he played well in a preseason game at Lambeau Field last year, it didn't translate with the Jets either. And there's nothing that shows me that skill set is going to get better just because he goes and sits behind Patrick Mahomes or gets some extra starting time with Andy Reid. Like, it's possible, but I'm not sold that that's going to be the case.
Does that not give you at least pause that a team as successful as the Chiefs chose this route as opposed to Anthony Richardson or Zach Wilson or the bevy of other would-be backup quarterbacks? Because, look, there's a chance, given the timing of his ACL tear, that Patrick Mahomes isn't ready for the start of the season. And they chose this guy anyway.
It's likely that he won't be ready for the start of the season, but it's not like the Chiefs have had this bevy of backup quarterbacks over the years under Mahomes either. Like, they had Chad Henne there for a while, which was what it was.
Yep.
They've had kind of this cavalcade in the last couple of years of just getting some serviceable guys that can step in if needed. And we saw what it looked like last year when Mahomes went down there. So Fields has starting experience. He has a different skill set. Like, Andy Reid probably went to somebody and said, I can try and win a few games with that guy if we can keep this thing on the rails until Mahomes gets back, which makes sense. I think the Packers can do better than Justin Fields, and I think they will and maybe already have by having Desmond Ridder on the roster.
Desmond Ridder?
Yeah. Yeah. And when people have asked, and I'm not kidding about this, when I've been out like at the state bowling tournament a couple of weeks ago and a couple of other places here recently, fans have come up and they want to engage on who is the Packers' backup quarterback going to be. What do the guys think? And I said, I think the backup quarterback is already on the roster. I think it's Desmond Ridder. I think they brought him in at the end of last year during the Clayton Tune week that you so greatly covered in Minnesota.
That poor guy.
Because he was a former starter. He was highly thought of in Atlanta. He had some significant playing time. It didn't work out. He wasn't coached very well, as evidenced by the fact that they got rid of their coach this year. And he's the reclamation project that comes in cheap for nothing at the end of last season, has a chance to reverse course and be a serviceable backup in Matt LaFleur's system. I think all the speculation about Bill Barnwell saying bring in Kirk Cousins and trade for Anthony Richardson from some of these other national pundits, I think the guy is already there. I think it's Desmond Ridder. I think this is set, and I think this is a closed chapter in what this offseason is. I think they have their backup quarterback.
Yeah, now that I agree with. So I was curious about something that Canty said, though, because I would assume that what you're about to play says that Chris Canty does not agree with old T.
Yeah, there was a discussion this morning on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio about Justin Fields going to the Chiefs. So here's what Chris Canty had to say.
Everybody wants to jump out of the window and give the Sam Darnold comp for every failed first-round draft pick at quarterback. It's not as if Justin Fields hasn't had an opportunity to be with a functional franchise. He was with the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago, and Mike Tomlin and that staff made the decision to bench him in lieu of Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson took that team to the playoffs. Like, when it comes to the Sam Darnold career arc, Sam was with dysfunctional franchise after dysfunctional franchise after dysfunctional franchise. Like, Justin Fields' career path is not that.
So when I go back, let's just go back 10 drafts, okay? in 2015, Sean Mannion, by the way, former Packers quarterbacks coach, was the fourth quarterback taken. He was taken in the third round. But at the top of that draft, at 1 and 2, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. Did either of those guys have like second chapters where you were like, oh, well, they did okay for themselves after it didn't work out in the first place? Not really, right? Jameis Winston's bounced around. Marcus Mariota's bounced around even more.
I mean, the closest thing, Jameis had a year starting in New Orleans where he had a ton of interceptions and a ton of touchdown passes after Drew Brees retired. That's the closest thing.
2016, the first rounders were Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, and Paxton Lynch. Carson Wentz had his team going to the Super Bowl, got hurt, never was the same again, right? He's bounced around a bunch. The Rams couldn't get rid of Jared Goff fast enough so they could get to and win a Super Bowl. They did go to a Super Bowl with him during his time.
I mean, Goff's second act has been good in Detroit.
I think so, too.
Very good.
Yes. I like him more than other people like him, that's for sure. 2017, Trubisky, Mahomes, and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's act has been, second act has been not good.
Comes with a little asterisk there.
Indeed. And Mitch Trubisky has done a good commercial about backups, but that's about it. Obviously, Mahomes is Mahomes. Baker Mayfield's, to Evan Cohen's point, right? Fourth team or whatever his theory is, Baker Mayfield is legit now in Tampa, right? We've seen it with our own eyes. He had a perfect passer rating in a game against the Packers back in 2023. The other quarterbacks drafted in the first round of that draft, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, who's been pretty good, Josh Rosen, who I think is an investment banker now, and Lamar Jackson. That was a big QB draft. 19, Kyler Murray, new team. Daniel Jones, new team. Dwayne Haskins, RIP. And Drew Lock was taken in the second round, and we know that the Packers were interested in him. 2020, Burrow, Tua, Herbert, and Love. And Jalen Hurts at the top of the second round, or in the second round. Again, those are all guys that have had second acts, or have not had second acts, except for Tua, who we're about to see what he does in Atlanta. And the other one I wanted to do, Trevor Lawrence, who had some rocky times in Jacksonville, and then Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. And what do they all have in common? None of them are with their original team. So this is why, and Tausch talks about it all the time with the mirage and drinking the sand, the oasis. If you are among those that don't have a quarterback, this is the kind of stuff that can happen. That's 4 teams in that draft alone who drafted quarterbacks in the first round, and none of them were good enough. Wilson wasn't good enough for the Jets. Lance had injury issues, what have you, but ended up bouncing around. Now he's in Los Angeles with the Chargers. We talked about Justin Fields, and Mac Jones is the backup in San Francisco. So, again, I don't know what Desmond Ridder, who, by the way, was the second quarterback to go in the 2022 draft, is going to be. But I'm Team Jesse. I don't think they're going to get anybody. I don't think Bill Barnwell's saying they're going to go get Kirk Cousins is going to happen. And I don't think they're going to get Anthony Richardson. If I'm wrong, it'll be interesting to see what Anthony Richardson can do for them. We've got a game of take it to the bank while Tausch is taking the paint to the wall. We'll see if he's able to join us coming up. Before that, though, I need to tell you about Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant, whether it's Marcus Johnson, who's narrating it, great comics, everyone who has done it over the time that they've had Behind the Bucks. It's always an entertaining listen. Charlie Barons is doing the current one, but it's always good to listen to. You can find it on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. A game of Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank, is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
March is here, and the biggest college basketball tournament is just around the corner. Join Kyle Brust-Nortman live from Kips Inn on Wednesday, March 18th, from 2 to 5 p.m. as we tip off the tournament with our friends from Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. Whether you're just finalizing your bracket, talking matchups, or just getting ready for the action ahead, come hang out with the KBN crew and enjoy fresh Screamin' Sicilian Pizza while it lasts. Lock in your bracket picks and set up for every big moment. The road to a national championship starts at Kips Inn with Screamin' Sicilian. We'll see you there.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing else has changed. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, just 100 calories and gluten-free. Clean ingredients and big flavor. Always no compromises. Grab the new Carbless grapefruit 4-pack wherever you get your Carbless and find a location near you at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long-forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate Exhibits, trade show booths become magnets. Lobbies become living stories. Break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. And now, through March 22nd, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock hoodies with the code HOODIE40. That's HOODIE40. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Rembrandt, Picasso,
Homer.
No, Homer wrote like the Iliad and the Odyssey. Or unless you're telling me Steve the Homer True is some sort of great painter.
No, who is the one that painted American Gothic? Wasn't that Homer?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Be that as it may.
Yeah, right there.
Norman Rockwell.
That picture right there.
Grant
Wood.
Wood.
That's Norman? Woody.
I got to be honest. I'm familiar with the painting. I had no idea. And Grant Wood seems made up, frankly.
Grant Wood paint that, am I right?
I was...
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm going to just ignore that. How'd the painting go, old boy?
Really good. They had saved me a wall, so we're
nice
here at
color.
the...
Are you just putting on primer?
No, that's the paint that's the wall that they're doing. And if you notice, they saved me that wall. We knocked that out. And then there's the side here where they put a little smear to make sure I didn't go across because they still had a little touch-up work to do. But the team at Sendix, man, they are flying through. There's a team of about 6 or 7 painters down there, and they kind of thought it was going to go until 3 or 4 this afternoon. Flying here at the Betty Brinn Museum.
Are they professional painters or are they volunteers like yourself?
Volunteers. We're all volunteers.
Celebrities? Is it a celebrity paint-a-thon?
Maybe. I don't know.
You didn't recognize any of them?
I didn't recognize anybody.
They didn't recognize you, and you didn't recognize them.
Ironically, one of my friends over at Sendix, Joe Wood, who I don't know if he is the painter of American Gothic. I don't know. Maybe
his great uncle Grant Wood. Yeah.
So we're just laying the primer for him to paint a mural of some Sendix things, because as I found out, I didn't know, as I told you. Jason, you've been here. Did you come here on a field trip, or did you bring the kids here, or what was your...
We brought the girls
I've never
there
been. This was
multiple
my first time.
times, when they were little. It's right down by the Summerfest grounds, right?
It's right here on the lake, yep.
And
that's
so
partially why I was so late today.
It's been a while, I would say. I think we were there probably 4 years ago. We went 1 year after we got done. We were down there for Summerfest, and we do the annual State of the Packers show, and we were down there for a few days. So we went there while we were in town. It is, seriously, I can't recommend it enough, especially if your kids are younger than mine are and Tausch's are now. But it's still a great venue, even if they're a little bit older. It's a great experience. I was reading something on onmilwaukee.com last night because I was curious what you might have had cooking there. You just told me, all you said yesterday was, I'm going to the Betty Brinn Museum. And you didn't give any details, so I was trying to, sleuth it.
I said that I was going to do some painting, but so there, obviously you have to keep things up, and there is an actual Sendix display within this museum. And that's what we were doing today. There a whole
like a checkout?
Paint and
like kids get to pretend they're at the grocery store? Or?
I think it's a learning that you learn about stuff. Like I just told you, I've never been, so I don't know. That's why I was asking you to give us some insight into it. But
felt like I did.
There's a lot of kids here, and I think this is a kind of a staple, right, for daycares and different field trips to come through, stop in at this museum. I'm guessing that's what this is all about.
I've got it number 3 on my best field trip ever power rankings from when I was a kid.
Okay. I'll say this, and one of our field trips was just some of my buddies. We went to
the Big Ten tournament.
No, that was different. That's not I guess that was a field trip last week. Noah's Ark / the Dells is always going to trump everything, right? When you're talking about
super educational,
that's not a field trip.
Learn a lot about
school field
Olympus.
Trip. No way. You got a Brewers game. You got Noah's Ark. And then for me, this is, I don't remember what year.
Do you go to anything educational on your field trips?
Field trip.
If I may.
The Museum of Science and Industry.
That's not a field trip at all. That's an excursion.
No, it's a field trip. And then the one that I probably most enjoyed that you two savants would call a field trip would be the Leona Train Museum. We went up to Leona, which is up in your neighborhood. That one was really good.
Leona.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
It's up in your neighborhood.
We have a National Railroad Museum right here in Green Bay. So I guess I've never had to go to Leona. Is that like Daytona? No, never mind. I'm not making a Dale Earnhardt joke there. Not at all. I have searched high and low for that T-shirt, though, because I really wanted to find that for you, and I have yet to succeed. So you're back. Are we talking more about your painting exploits, or are we playing Take It to the Bank?
I'm hoping that I still will have a little bit left when I go back down after the show's done, but like I said, that crew is flying.
I still I don't think you know the difference between a field trip and an activity day.
He does.
A Brewers game or Noah's Ark
kids,
or Skate U when we did that. Those are not field trips. Those are excursion activity days.
When you get a parental
Shed
note,
aquarium.
Does little Eleanor want to go on a field trip to the Brewers game? They don't say, does little Eleanor want to go on a field or an excursion to a Brewers game? That's not what they say.
We had days when we were in middle school where we had these honor cards, and then when you had point, you had it was a point system, and if you didn't wash your lunch table down or you didn't turn your homework in on time, you could lose points. And at the end of every quarter,
God, you ended every quarter with 1,000 points, didn't you?
I mean, it was out of 100, but I mean, I always had 100 points on my honor card. It was never a doubt. Sometimes I had more than 100. You got to pick each quarter what your excursion, your activity was for that
field
quarter.
Trip or a field trip.
No, because there were separate field trips where you would go to see a theater show at the Children's Theater, or you
What's
would go
the difference of that going to a Brewer game? No, I'm being dead serious.
Don't read the transcript.
You could read the history of the 82 Brewers.
You don't read
just like you could read the history of Hamlet.
Of Brewers Phillies on Monday night, called by Uke and Jim Powell, and then go to the game the next day.
There's a movie coming out about Uke.
I saw that.
There's just a movie about the 82 Brewers. It's the same thing. You can go to the Overture Center, but you can't go to AmFam Field. It's literally the same thing.
You read the Shakespeare play, you do a book report on the play, and then you go see the play.
I just read the synopsis of the 82 World Series. It's the same thing.
Look, I'm as big a fan of this stuff as anyone. And
all right, tell me what the educational part of Noah's Ark is before we move forward.
Physics.
Oh, you really? No, you can go back and check the old Bible, and there's a lot in there about it.
The Bible?
Yes, you go on a field trip to Noah's Ark, and you're discussing Noah and the 2x2 boarding the ship and the 40 days of rain. Yes, you're right. My bad.
Field trips don't listen. Field trips don't have to be going to a museum and putting headphones on and having people preach to you about what's going on. It's about experiences. It's about getting out with your classmates into the wild and figuring things out.
Into the wild?
That's what a field trip is.
No, though it's different.
No, it's not.
A school-sanctioned field trip is an educational experience where you have chaperones and the teachers come and we're going to have lunch at the museum, and then you go to the IMAX theater, and then you go see all the different exhibits, or you go to the zoo.
So
and
you're all right
worksheet
going
you have
to an IMAX theater, but not to a Brewer game. You think those two things are inherently different?
Unless you're in a marketing class, which I don't. Again, it's been a while.
Oh yeah, nobody goes into marketing when they grow older or get into sports and learn about that.
Not when you're in 6th grade.
When I was in college, we went to a.
You guys lost this argument. I don't know why you're.
I'm not done with the argument yet. When we were in college, we went to a Peoria Rivermen hockey game, and we did for a marketing class survey what was going on for marketing. That would be considered a college field trip, as opposed to.
So in essence, in order for anything to be field trip related, it has to be very boring and nobody wants to go.
No, that's why
educational, edutainment.
That's exactly why I said the Betty Brinn Children's Museum was number 3 on my list of school field trip power rankings, because it's both informative and educational and entertaining and fun.
I can't wait for the plot twist where Jesse says Noah's Ark is number 1 and the Brewers game is number 2.
I don't know how many I could do. I know what number 1 is, by far. The zoo. Number 1, the Milwaukee County Zoo. Number 1 on my power rankings of school field trips. When you go to the zoo and you went like every year, but you're always studying. Like one year you got the jungle animals, one year you got the birds, one year you got the penguins. We adopted a penguin one.
There you go.
There's all
snakes.
kinds of stuff. There's something, and every year the zoo is you get those little plastic mold things. You get the nice lunch. You get to go see all the animals. The zoo is number one on my field trip power rankings, followed closely.
Oh, look at that zebra taking a huge dump. Yeah, how educational is that? Yeah. It's the same. Come on. Like, it is the same thing if Prince Fielder hits a home run or if that zebra. Like, it's the same thing.
Prince Fielder hitting a home run is the same as a zebra taking a dump?
You act like going to the zoo is some monumental, like, education on educational. Like, part of the deal with these field trips, guys, is the kids getting to do some things. They get a little bit of room. They grow. They have adult. You start figuring things out. It's not just about what the content of it is.
Number 2 in high school, we went to Six Flags Great America for physics class.
Oh, yeah, that's so much different. Come on.
We had an entire worksheet where we had to do physics problems. We had to do physics problems.
Yeah, physics problems. Yeah, I'm sure you were breaking down the pitch and the tint of the roller coaster, why the centrifugal force is keeping you upright. I'm sure that's what you were doing.
In the physics class.
And you couldn't do that at Noah's Ark with the water rides? Of course
you can't carry a worksheet around in your swimsuit. No, that doesn't work.
We'll have a swim shirt, and you could.
It's still irrelevant.
All right, now I chose poorly on who I aligned myself with. For you to get after him about Noah's Ark and then say number 2 was Great America completely ruined everything we were building there.
So you guys are not Saved by the Bell fans like I am, and like Matt Coonan is, and like my brother is. You would not remember. Would this be a field trip when, if you got a certain amount of grades proper, you'd go on a whitewater rafting trip? Would that be considered a field trip?
No,
because
that's the excursion.
You had to have a certain amount of grades proper. Zach Morris didn't. Rod Belding, who is Rich Belding's brother, was going to lead it. He was a instructor. He was going to teach kids the safety.
Played by Mike Golick's brother, right?
The safety and all of the other stuff. So it was going to be educational because you learned how to whitewater raft, navigating through. You'd see all this great different eras of rocks that you'd be floating through on these rivers. That's a field trip. Of course, Rod found a gal that he liked, bailed on the kids, and put Rich back in charge. Rich didn't know anything about it. How does that play out in this field trip deal?
Are you
Kelly
using...
Kapowski
I'm sorry.
is out there. She's battling, trying to keep herself upright. Lisa Turtle, they say it's a field trip.
I'm sorry. I don't know if arguing that a trip that was taken by fictional characters on Saved by the Bell is what we're looking for.
Just when you thought Tausch would win this one.
This one's for Matt Coonan. Get out of my school, Rod.
Here's my question. Matt. What if you go to a Green Bay school and your field trip is a tour of Lambeau Field?
No, that doesn't work. Nope. That doesn't work.
Not for a game. Not a game.
Nope,
but a tour.
Work. Nope, doesn't work.
All right. That has been Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank.
Old World, Wisconsin field trip. You're learning about the history of the state.
The Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, could be.
And also the library.
How you guys don't understand the difference of this is insane to me. Doesn't make any sense. But I digress.
It's not branches that make a bank local, it's roots. And Associated Bank's roots run deep in Wisconsin, and especially here in Green Bay, where you could perhaps go on a field trip to Associated Bank and see how a bank works. More importantly, you could see that they've got great customer service, and you would witness that whether you were an adult or a kid taking a tour, because whether it's early pay, whether it's credit monitoring, whether it's fraud protection, or whether it's Packers, Brewers, or Badgers checking, they've got you covered with the best customer service in the industry. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Whoa, Nelly, which I considered shouting.
You can go to see a bank and how they work, but you can't go to see how a Major League Baseball team works?
So,
explain that to me.
Again, my own personal experience, much like the children that attended, what's the high school in Saved by the Bell again?
Bayside.
The fine kids of Bayside, there was a reward to go to a Brewers game that was tied to like reading performance and number of books you had to read, and kind of like your Pizza Hut thing.
The ski trip that we did, people went on a ski trip, and that was a points thing.
But my recollection of field trips were much more education focused, whether it's a museum, all those things that were more like. Again, I'm not saying that you can't learn things. By the way,
Matt in the 608, your senior trip to the Mall of America, it is a field trip. Commerce, how you get a mall to work, you get the pattern, the traffic flow. Like there is stuff that you learn with our FBLA group. That's what we did. We went to the Mall of America.
And you were there was someone there conducting the tour, explaining to you how the flow of people traffic worked.
There were people there chaperoning, yes.
Did you have a worksheet?
Did you take any notes of any kind?
Field trips don't need. So if you're keeping score with a scorebook, is that a worksheet at a Brewer game?
Yeah,
I knew that.
Kind of.
I knew that was coming. The minute you said that, I knew that was coming.
No. So now having a notepad is what constitutes a field trip. That's
worksheet.
What I'm saying.
If you send the kids to a field trip at a Brewers game, I would expect a worksheet that would say how many of the food stands are open or how many food stands are there.
6-4-3 double play. Coach,
name all the giveaway options that you see on the main field level concourse and the marketing components of that. And if the Brewers sell 30,000 hot dogs at $7 a piece, how much money do they revenue do they generate in hot dog sales for that's a worksheet for a field trip. As opposed to an excursion where it says, hey, you did well this quarter. You were well behaved in school. You read your books. You get to go to a movie today.
If every kid is eligible to go, does that make it a field trip or an excursion?
Field trip.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can say one thing with absolute certainty. No teacher that is home today because they have a snow day is listening to this show going, hey, you know where we should go on a field trip? We should go to the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios when these three knuckleheads are together. They want to see us in action.
Disagree. This would be a great field trip.
This would be a great field trip.
I actually think it would be too, but not when... That was like 18 minutes of field trip debate, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Noah's Ark not being on a Wisconsin kids field trip, top of their field trip list, is absurd to me.
House on the Rock, as John
Wisconsin Dells
I'm in on that.
Is the top spot. If you're asking any Wisconsin student where they'd go for their field trip choice A,
right, but
they're all
field
picking
trips,
the Dells.
right, and a lot of times field trips are not what the kids would pick.
If you're a kid in Wisconsin, you want to go to Wisconsin Dells. Yes. If you're
a teacher in Wisconsin, you want to go to Wisconsin Dells.
No, you want to go to Old World, Wisconsin, or the Betty Brinn Children's Museum.
House on the Rock.
Man.
The Dells was our end of speaking of the middle school thing. The Dells was at the end of the year. You got to go to the Dells.
Ridiculous. Six Flags is much better
because there was always one.
That was a real low point, right? The number two on the list being
Six Flags because it was for physics and there was a worksheet.
You completely undermined us.
You got Jesse Einstein out there breaking down the physics of the roller coaster.
We did.
Yeah, I'm sure you
they
did.
had the
you
thing called vertical velocity.
Measuring the centrifugal force.
We had to find the velocity of vertical velocity, and it was really hard, and I couldn't figure it out.
Force. Whoa, Nelly. I knew we were cooked the minute he said the words Six Flags. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2026.
Buying or selling a home isn't just a transaction. It's one of life's biggest decisions.
That's why clarity, trust, and the right guidance matter, especially in an ever-changing market.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
I'm John Lorenz.
And I'm Taylor Mangini. Our team delivers a white glove experience at every price point, combining expert negotiation, local insight, and genuine care.
Get started today with a team you can trust at wendorfteam.kw.com.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and already lost 30 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continue to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
assume and hope that Whoa Nelly will be wholly dedicated to the carbless talk and text line responses to the raging debate about field trips.
We haven't gotten this many texts on anything since the end of the Packers season. This is crazy.
Including Tier 1 Tyler is chiming in?
Yeah, he was there for the physics trip with me. It was hard.
It's hard to believe you demoted him from Tier 1 after you've known him since that Six Flags field trip.
He's Tier 1, and we're going to be hanging out this week for the tournament. I'm going to be off on Friday, by the way, fellas. Hanging out with Tier 1 Tyler for some madness going on. So,
Shocker.
Erica in Milwaukee says the Shed Aquarium was the best field trip.
Yes!
That's
Agreed.
a good spot.
Museum of Science and Industry, also great.
Very educational.
Yeah, you're watching animals and you're learning about animals just like you can watch baseball and learn about baseball players. Continue.
Matt in West Bend does a trip to...
And you can learn about animals at Noah's Ark.
Does a trip to Pizza Hut for the Book It program count as a field trip to Tausch?
Absolutely. You learn about making pizzas, go back there, get all that. You play game. Yeah, absolutely it does.
Matt in Franklin, no teacher of middle school or high school kids wants to go to Wisconsin Dells for a field trip.
Well, that's probably fair.
There was always, whenever we did the end of the year thing in middle school to go to the Dells, we did it every year, there was always at least one kid who didn't know what time you were supposed to get back to the bus, and everyone else is back, and they're still in line for the Anaconda or whatever, and then they have to come running back to the bus, and they're in like their wet swimsuits, sitting on a towel on the bus ride home, and everybody else just like, we gotta go. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's life lessons you're learning. So, yeah, I think it's perfect.
How to manage the clock. Maybe we should have done more trips to the Dells back in the day. My wife is a high school teacher. This is from a 920, doesn't have a name with it. My wife is a high school teacher. She gets to chaperone a trip to Iceland this summer.
Oh, that's an excursion. No, that's an excursion. That's not a field trip.
No, a trip to Iceland would be educational because you spend the entire school year learning about Europe and Iceland, and I'm sure geography is a big part of that, and the science behind the glaciers and the,
okay, so as long as it's not something people really love, isn't everything educational? Really? Like, everything can be educational if you want it to be.
Including this program.
Yes. I think some things are more on the nose, like going to the zoo after you're studying animals in the jungle and habitats and ecologies of ponds and
the fact that you're
Arctic.
trying to backtrack here and say, like, it's just so absurd to me. It's absurd.
I'm not backtracking at all.
Yeah, but you undermined us with the Six Flags. I'm sorry, you did. You completely ruined it. We were making progress. We made headway of, hey, it's not the most exciting trip. The senior class trip, your 8th grade trip, the end of the school year trip, that's one thing. But if you're going somewhere in the middle of April or in the middle of November on a day of school and you're going somewhere, it is traditionally far more educational than going to a Brewers game, which I think we're not that far off in this debate. But again, what set me off was the Noah's Ark Wisconsin Dells as a field trip. That feels like a class trip to celebrate the end of the school year. Both Madison and Sydney did that as 8th graders. And to Jesse's point, both years, one kid did not return to the bus, and they were delayed by hours tracking down the one kid that was standing in line for the Anaconda.
There's always one.
Sounds like bad chaperoning is what it sounds like.
I didn't go. I would not have allowed that to happen in my group.
I'm sure you would.
It is not fair to compare.
Come on.
The Betty.
How helicopter I am? You don't think I wouldn't have helicoptered all 8 kids in my group?
I would think that you would, but I wasn't like taking a shot at you. I'm saying that's it. Go ahead.
You should turn around and go apologize to the good people of the Betty Brinn Museum for comparing their field trip opportunities for kids to the Wisconsin Dells and to a Brewers game.
No, I would argue that I would go and tell them that this is as much fun as those are, and that's why it's such a great experience at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Six Flags for physics class. What? We were doing so well. All you had to do was say we went to and I had at number 2, the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
People only
dressed up.
Old World Wisconsin was in the mix, but people only signed up to take physics class so that you could go on the Six Flags field trip at the end of the year. And they realized
because
that
it's not a real field trip.
It was, and
that's why they signed up.
Fewer students started signing up for physics because they made it more about the educational component of it, and they made this hard worksheet you had to fill out, figuring out the velocity of Raging Bull. And you had to do that before you could go ride Raging Bull, and then you barely got to ride anything because you had to be out of there by 4 o'clock.
All right. I think our work here is done. And we should all go on a field trip to Hard Rock Casino Rockford in a couple of weeks.
Well, we'd want, especially if it's some of our fans that are a little like Jason Wilde's age and more, Wednesday's the day to go. Wednesdays are for the classic rockers at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. That is tomorrow. Guests who are 55 years. They're invited to the Hard Rock Cafe every Wednesday, and you get 50% off. There, you can do some math. That's something. You can also look at the food, which is, if you have over $40, again, 50% off everything down there. You can be directly redeemed at the Hard Rock Cafe, and you can go print it off. You can learn about printing. You can learn with the voucher at the kiosk.
You can learn about printing.
And then you present a valid ID and a Unity by Hard Rock rewards card, which will teach you about how you can pile up points and that you can get discounted on that. Yeah. You're learning on everything. And you can start going to the sports book and learn about odds. You could go do the same thing. All
statistics
at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, 60 minutes right off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
I will be on a field trip on Friday learning all about that stuff. Big tournament going on.
Congratulations to Our Lady Queen of Peace and the 7th graders who are headed on down to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Thursday for their class trip.
Teachers would love that one.
I hate to tell you guys this, but besides all the great things I just mentioned, they also have a museum there with kinds of great memorabilia. So
not to mention the performance components. Music groups would love to go there. Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is every opportunity is an educational opportunity. That's where you guys missed the boat on this argument. I'm sorry that you did. Because you missed out on a lot of great field trip experiences.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
This 2 or 3 year window needs to.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, home to your one-stop must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Mark Tosher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall with 24 beers on tap, over 50 HD TVs, and of course, game day specials. It's the perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is the downtown home to basketball this March.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Aging well means staying healthy, active, and independent. To age well, we need to take care of our bones. 10 million Americans have osteoporosis, a hereditary disease that makes bones weak and more likely to break. Thankfully, we can all take simple steps to improve our bone health at any age. Eat a healthy diet that is rich in calcium and vitamin D. Get regular weight-bearing exercise, which means on our feet. Get bone health tips at pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
105 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
What a long, strange trip today has been.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing